such as Max NG, O-Ride and GoCada have been aiming to capitalize on the congested Lagos roads and the city's teeming population to expand their operations. The ban cites a 2018 law to bar Okadas and small three-wheeled vehicles known as kekes or maruas from February 1st. It would bar them from 40 bridges and flyovers and areas covering the business districts of Victoria Island and Lagos Island, Apapa, where the primary port is located, and Ikeja, which is home to the international airport. Keke drivers like Johnson Ekubi do not know how they will continue to make a living.
When I want to go to work, sometimes there might be traffic, and this keke and motorcycles are another alternative. They are fast alternative for me to get to work on time. It's an easy way to beat traffic. So if they ban them, I don't know what the plan of government is, because whatever the plan is, it's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be good as the bikes and the keke.
It's better for the Marua to still be functioning. They should just make it easier for them and look for a better way to just caution them if they have anything they are doing they don't like. It's better that way. They should just caution them. But taking them off the road is not good at all.
Benga Omotoso, Lagos State Commissioner of Information and Strategy, said the ban could affect all passengers companies and only courier service companies would be exempt. Max NG, which also operates in Kano, Ibadan and Akure in Nigeria, had an investment round last year that raised more than $5 million. Startup GoCada also raised $5 million last year for its Lagos operations.
The people that ban this tricycle, they don't care and they don't make use of it. That is why they feel like they want to ban the tricycle so that Lagos State will be very clean and neat. As they don't want disturbance.
Founder Fahim Saleh said that while the bikes are also above 200cc, he was not sure about the impacts of the ban on them. O-Ride, part of OPay, in which Norwegian software firm Opera Limited has an equity interest, also offers ride-hailing motorcycles in Lagos. In June, GoCada told Reuters that there are an estimated 8 million Okada drivers operating across Nigeria.
Very tricky situation for most Nigerians, because when public transport is denied access to major parts of the city, then that means people tend to suffer in the economy as well. Now, moving on to matters economy, a Cognizant and Meet study says executives are out of touch when it comes to the digital economy. A majority of those surveyed think corporate executives are out of touch with what it will take to win the digital economy, and that this is causing organizations to be slow and unresponsive. According to a study by the Meet Sloan School of Management, this was what was arrived at.
A majority of those surveyed think corporate executives are out of touch with what it will take to win in the digital economy, and that this is causing organizations to be slow and unresponsive, according to a study by the MIT Sloan School of Management. Global IT business process and consulting services firm Cognizant and the Sloan Management Review conducted a wide-ranging survey of 4,394 global leaders. Among its many findings, it found less than 10% of respondents strongly believe their organizations have leaders with the right skills to thrive in the digital economy. Only 40% agree that their firms are building robust leadership pipelines to tackle the demands of the digital economy.
Imagine a work environment where you've got people where you walk in and the buzz is palpable, where people are analytically savvy, they're fact-based, they get stuff done, they have a customer obsession. They're investors that are not just about money, but that's the thing that is really incredibly important to the millennials and the Gen Zs. The connectors are all about mastering relationship, ecosystem partners. People understand that that's how work gets done today.
Only 48% feel their organizations are prepared to compete in the digitally driven markets and economies. The report said that many organizations are stuck in a state of cultural inertia.
The 80% definition of leadership is unchanged in a digital economy or not. Things like adaptability, drive, endurance, those will remain. They've been important and they'll continue to be important. The 20% that changes is really around unleashing talent in the organization, the ability to take informed risks, and to fail quickly and recover. That's what's required for digital leadership.
I'm talking about being zealous to give the customer what the customer...
My observation on my travels, we work obviously with a lot of big organizations around the world on these sort of digital transformation projects. My observation of my travel is that many leaders are just not in love with the underlying tech to do this. And the analogy I have in my mind is it's like, would you imagine that a senior leader in an automobile company could be a senior leader if they didn't love cars? You may not need to know the technology, but you need to be at least turned on by it rather than turned off by it.
The behaviors that got us to where we are, but not...
I'm a value designer, so I have organizations.
Becky Frankowitz, Douglas Reddy, Ben Pring, thank you very much to you, and thank you very much to all of you for your questions as well. Let's get some air. Thanks very much.
I think one of the biggest leadership challenge we have is that the leaders who are leading most companies today were led very differently themselves. So it's this whole challenge of leaders of today to unlearn how they were led and to actually lead very differently.
You don't need to build a factory. You don't need to build a huge, complicated...
If the purpose of a company is just to make money and not to generate value for customers, I think that's the wrong track. And if you look at businesses that really make a difference, they're out there and their purpose is to generate value, sustainable value for the.
Now, as we wrap up our business news, retired alpine skiing legend Lindsey Vonn revealed that since hanging up her racing suit and helmet, she's had to try, pardon me for a second. Sorry for that. Let's continue with the stories. I'll pick it up from where I left. Retired legend Lindsey, pardon me. Viewers, let's take a short break. We'll be back.
Sikosangi sama kwa Mama Ben. Sababu mume wake wa
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us right here on the Day's Counter at TV47. Now, just right before the break, we experienced a slight and abrupt technical hitch. We would love to apologize for that, and I believe it's been fixed, so we can move on with this second bit of the segment where we have a studio guest by the name Austin, and he's the chairman of Young Aspirants Kenya. Austin, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, Alan.
Now, just to start us off, you are the chairman of Young Aspirants Kenya. What is Young Aspirants Kenya all about?
Young Aspirants Kenya is basically a political movement for the young people. The idea came after we realized that there's so many young people out there who want to involve themselves in political leadership. But we don't have a platform. So we realized that there's so many of them that the idea has come, and the only thing we could do is just to organize ourselves, and then we start a movement. So basically we try to nurture the young people, more so who have interest in politics.
Now, on today's discussion, we wanted to focus solely on the BBI report and the opportunities that are there for young people. But just before we get into that into detail, I'd love to ask you, since the report came out, do you fully believe that the youth have been receptive of it? Do you feel like they've actually gotten access or the chance to sit down? Because we have so many critics and who are majorly the young people, they're critiquing the document. What do you think is the reception rate or figures when it comes to the youth accessing the report?
First of all, I will give an overview because of what the youth out there are feeling, because when I was coming here, I had to at least gather some information from them. And I can tell you that over 90% are not feeling that the BBI is really tackling our issues. But from personal point of view, it may not be a question of whether BBI or not BBI. I would say that we really need to see the document first. Remember, the document is not yet printed. So what matters is what is the content of the document, the real document.
So meaning the youth haven't been necessarily, they haven't gotten the chance to access the document in its totality.
True. The youth we have outside there have not accessed the document. Only a small percentage. But we are not very sure whether the document we have on soft copy is the real document. So from whatever we have read with the document we have, majority of them are saying no to BBI. Unless there's another document that is coming that will be more elaborate, that will be spread to the common Mwananchi, and we'll be able to read it. That's when we'll be able to give our substantive view of whether it's BBI or not BBI.
Okay. Now, personally, I've had the opportunity to go through the report just in certain highlighted bits of it. And one of the notable issues that comes across is that the youth feel excluded. In general, they feel excluded from government decisions, from policy making. I just want to get you feel like from a business perspective, and especially a country that the major population is congregated around the youth. What's the dwindling effect on the youth being feeling that they're excluded? What's the effect
first of all, remember we had BBI 1.
Yeah.
Now we are moving to BBI 2.
Yes.
The BBI 1, from economic point of view, used 10 billion Kenyan shilling.
Yeah.
And we are being told that the process is not yet over. Right now we are getting to BBI 2.
Yes.
So,
is the
from our own view...
Is the 10 billion fact? Has this been proven?
It is hidden from the public.
Or it's hidden from the public?
We are not aware. There's assumption and the speculations that 10 billion was used for BBI 1.
Yeah.
And right now we are getting to the BBI 2, amount of money that we don't know the exact figure, and has not been approved by the National Assembly.
Yeah.
At the same time, on economic point of view, I look at 10 billion shilling, the amount of job it can create for the youth.
Yes.
The kind of life that it can impact. To me, that is too much.
Exactly.
And we have a feeling that it is not really doing good to us as the youth.
Yeah.
At the same time, we are not included. We feel secluded in that even the entire process, from the Hagi Commission, you look at the task force itself, it's made up of very old people.
Yes.
So if those guys are there's employment created for them, our youth are not part of that.
Okay.
And then the entire process has trickled down. Right now, it is being headed by the political class. We have almost two types of rally going on. We have the BBI, and then we have the task force itself is again going around the country using the money that to me would be used to do other things, maybe creating job. We live in a country where unemployment rate is over 50%.
Yes.
And the poverty rate is 70% going upward. And we are being told all the time that there is no money in the economy. The youth are not employed because there is no money.
Which actually brings me to my next question. Like, you've talked of there's no money in circulation in the economy, right? Sorry for that. Now, when you're talking about, if you actually go through the BBI and you have a view of the highlighted views and some of the proposed solutions to certain economical issues, is they propose a 7-year tax incentive for major startups, right? Or just generally the startups. And looking at how the economy is right now, which is good by the books and not necessarily good in the right sense, right? So they're looking at a 7-year tax incentive. Is this even a possibility, or this is an outright?
I think it's just a question of wait and see.
Yeah.
Because already we have, for example, the youth fund.
Exactly.
Which has been there. We have the women fund. We have so many ways of fund. But accessing these funds have always been an issue. So when someone talks about the 7-year incentive, that whatever is being proposed by the BBI, we will have to wait and see if it's going to be implemented, because we are not very sure. We cannot trust the government now, because already we have had these policies, we've had this kind of money allocated to help the youth, but in real sense, accessing these funds have always been very hard. So before the implementation of the BBI begins, we cannot say whether it's real or not. So we cannot make any conclusion on that.
But ideally, from an economical perspective, we have the taxman, the carrier. They've been up and about trying to create different avenues, because they even missed their tax target of collecting what they wanted to collect this year. They missed that. So that means this coming year, the year that we are in 2020, it means the government is going to look for new avenues on how to tax the people. And yet the BBI report is proposing a 7-year tax incentive, which is supposed to aid the young people who are usually involved in startups. From an economical point of view, does this make sense to you? Is it even, say they was to propose it today, would it make sense?
It makes sense if it can be implemented in the right way.
It can.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Because we outside there, we are waiting. We are ready to do business. We are ready to be boosted with that fund. If it's there and it can be implemented with the right system, the right people, the only worry is that the same politicians.
Yeah.
Not today, I don't want to talk about politics much because it's a business segment.
Exactly.
But the same people we have entrusted with the initial resources are the same people who are still going around trying to sell towards this idea.
Okay.
So it will be hard to trust them. But when it comes, we are ready to accept. It's okay.
Fine. Now, another key issue that has always been in discussion when it comes to including inclusivity in totality is that people from the marginalized group and from the small groups, from the minority groups, so to say, usually don't get the opportunities that are expected to be gotten from them. And one of the proposals in the report is that the PSC is supposed to undertake selective recruitment and all that kind of stuff from those minority and marginalized group. My question is that what happens? Is this a possibility? Because when you look at the facts and the statistics, is that most of these people, the minority or the marginalized group, they come from areas where people don't necessarily have access to opportunities to make them viable for that recruitment. Is this even a possibility?
There's no such thing like inclusivity in Kenya.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we are coming up with my young aspirants.
Okay.
Because we are very inclusive. And in young, let me go back to young aspirants Kitogo, because I want to tackle this issue so well.
Yes.
We have come together with some values because we want to change the narrative, the political narrative in Kenya, where people are known by their tribes, their age, what. So we are trying to align ourselves and giving ourselves a name of a group of people united together by a common goal, which is the young people. In Kenya, there's no such thing like inclusivity.
Yes.
The Public Service Commission, its mandate is to ensure every Kenyan is employed, regardless of where they come from, regardless of the age, regardless of their physical disability.
Yes.
So it will still go back to the normal, where you must know someone is when you get a job.
Yeah.
But in the real sense, it is their right from the minority group, all those kind of citizens, regardless of where they come from, they're supposed to be getting equal opportunity in Kenya. So the same, I go back to the same people we entrust with our resources who are running the same government.
Exactly.
If they have not been able to implement this, you look at the recent appointments, even in the government.
Yeah.
If you look at the president just appointed people from his region, that's the majority, that's the reality.
Yes.
From the same tribe.
Yeah.
So
that's your personal view.
That's my personal view. It's from the same tribe, and we all know that.
But don't you think everybody deserves a position based on merit?
Based on merit, we deserve.
Yeah.
Based on merit.
So what happens in a scenario that this person from a particular tribe is more qualified for that position, and it just happens that they come from the other side?
That's why I'm saying there's no such thing like inclusivity in Kenya. It is where you come from and who you know.
Okay.
There's nothing like you are educated.
Right.
We have over 80% of the youth outside there who are educated.
Yeah.
They're looking for jobs.
Yeah.
But someone has to know you somewhere. So we are not really... The BBI, you are just waiting to see the next document, whatever they have with that document. But for this one, we are not really going to rush and support it.
Okay,
but I'm not saying we are not supporting it. We are supporting it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now, just before we actually move on to the last question, you have worked with youth people, right? And part of the discussions that I love having with my guests is the solutions. The BBI is out. They've proposed solutions that are going to help the youth in bettering their situations economically outside there, but you probably don't see that happening anytime soon. Say you're given or you put in a position to help these youth. What are some of the key things that you do to effect change and bring about some change in the young people's lives? Today, you're given that position. What do you do?
The young people just need to position themselves for the opportunities.
Yeah.
We have very few opportunities.
Yes. But that's what I'm asking. I've given you, because most people, we like to critique and just give out of our views. But say today, I'm the president, I've given you that opportunity. Tell me, what are you going to do for the youth, or what are some of the avenues you can put in place to help them?
The youth, first of all, they just need to have proper documents.
Yeah. So documentation
is very key.
Yeah.
Even in the youth group that we run down there.
Exactly.
One thing that we normally try to advise the youth when they come for money, they're looking for resources. They must be in organized groups that are registered.
Okay.
Because the first thing that is looked at is, are you guys registered?
Yes.
So documentation is key.
It's
either
key.
through education or maybe any business you want to do, you have to have some serious documents.
Documents, yeah.
That's one.
Okay.
Let me stop there. Yeah, I don't want to say much.
Yeah, okay, fine. True. So you've advised them that documentation is a key thing for them to get the opportunity.
Yeah, and always going out for the opportunity, because we are so many.
Exactly.
I'm not going to come to you because you are my brother.
Yes.
I must look for how aggressive you are. You must be very aggressive and ready to tap the opportunities that are available.
Okay, fine. My director is telling me to wrap up the show. Austin.
Yes.
Final word to these people. Young people have been outside there trying to look for opportunities. The economy is dwindling. We have the BBI report that so many people are assuming, or based on claims, that it's spending a lot of taxpayers' money because it was already given to the people. Why is it being given back? Just give us your final thoughts and last words to the people.
My final thought to the youth outside there.
Yeah.
You guys just be united. The only thing I can say is that there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope. Let us trust the system. Let us wait for the BBI to whatever it has for us, and we will see what to do. But I can also encourage you guys that the people who want to get leadership position in this country, we are not going to wait for the things to be done for us. We are here. We are not the future leaders. We are the leaders of today. So be united and start acting now.
Austin,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time and offering all that.
Asante.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was all we had for you on the Day's Counter today. Now you can keep the conversation going on all our social media platforms. That's at TV47K across all of them. Or you might as well send me a tweet at Komowino with the hashtag The Day's Counter. Now coming right up next is Shina Lopeo. Don't go away. Do keep it TV47. Until next time, have a lovely evening.